Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj, coming up in the next 30 minutes. 3 people killed and over 100 rescued after massive landslide in Jammu and Kashmir's Ramban. Rescue operation still on. Ukraine's Zelenskyy laments Russia violating Easter Truce, a day after President Putin announced surprise one-day ceasefire. And Christians all around the world celebrate Easter. The joyous day commemorates the resurrection of Jesus Christ after his crucifixion on Good Friday. Tragedy struck India's Jammu and Kashmir in the wee hours of Sunday as heavy rain triggered flash floods at different places in Jammu and Kashmir's Ramban district. At least 3 people were killed and over 100 were rescued. Rescue and relief operation is underway. The incessant rain also triggered landslides and mudslides along the strategic Jammu-Srinagar National Highway, prompting traffic to be suspended. Authorities are working to clear the debris and restore connectivity. Multiple parts of the Union Territory, including Jammu and Udhampur, have been experiencing heavy rainfall in the past few days, causing damage to property and blocking national highways. In Udhampur's Namban area, National Highway 44 was blocked due to heavy rains the previous night. India Met Department has also issued a warning for severe weather conditions in Jammu and Kashmir between April 18 and 20, citing the influence of an active western disturbance.
ये तकरीबन 3 बजे से जिस तरह से एक बारिश अंधाधुंध यानी बारिश हुई है पूरे जिला रामबन में, खासतौर रामबन के एरिया में जो नोटिस आ रहा है, और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन हमारी एलजी साहब से, माननीय चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब से भी गुजारिश है कि लोगों को इस त्रसदी के दिन उनके साथ छाना बिछाना, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन भी दिखनी चाहिए, गवर्नमेंट भी दिखनी चाहिए, लोकल जो बॉडीज है वो भी दिखनी चाहिए, और साथ ही साथ उनको जितनी भी मदद हो सके इस मौके पे करवानी चाहिए। विजिट करके असेसमेंट किया जाए कितनी प्रॉपर्टी का लॉस हुआ और प्रॉपर्टी के हिसाब से लोगों को उनका माकूल मुआवजा भी दिया जाना चाहिए, और रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन खासतौर जल्दी शुरू किया जाए और राहत कैंप शुरू किए जाए।
Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh has expressed grief over the tragic loss of 3 lives in the Ramban district. Sharing information about the tragedy, Dr. Singh posted on X, and I quote, "There was a heavy hailstorm, multiple landslides and fast winds throughout the night in the Ramban region, including the areas surrounding the Ramban town. The national highway stands blocked and unfortunately there have been 3 casualties and loss of property for a couple of families. I am in constant touch with Deputy Commissioner Basirul Haq Chaudhry. The district administration deserves appreciation for timely and prompt action which helped save several precious lives. Every kind of relief, both financial and otherwise, is being provided. The DC has been conveyed that if need be, whatever more is required can be provided from MP's personal resources as well. The request is not to panic. We shall all together overcome this natural calamity." Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Umar Abdullah has expressed extremely anguish over the tragic landslide and flash flood in Ramban, which has caused considerable damage to life and property. In a social media post, Umar Abdullah said, "My thoughts are with the affected families in this difficult hour. We are in touch with the local administration to ensure immediate rescue efforts wherever needed. Later today, I will be reviewing restoration, relief and repair plans. For now, the focus remains on managing the situation on ground. Citizens are advised to follow travel advisories and avoid non-essential movement in vulnerable areas." All right, and DD India's Tahir Nadeem Khan is joining us live from Doda, Jammu and Kashmir. Hi Tahir, very tragic incident certainly. 3 people killed, over 100 rescued, rescue operations still on. What is the latest that you are getting for us from there?
Well, Siddhar, after a cloud burst at 1:30 a.m. last night, which resulted in flash floods along National Highway in Seri area of Ramban district. That has resulted in the death of 3 persons which came under the debris of that landslides, mudslides in that area. Right now, the rescue operation is going on. NDRF along with district administration, even army has joined the rescue operation. 100 people have been rescued from the debris because this is the most busiest national highway of Jammu and Kashmir, and NH44, which connects Jammu and Srinagar with the rest of the country. So it remains busy around the clock, and at the time of that mudslide, the vehicles, both heavy and light motor vehicles, were moving on, and dozens of those vehicles got stuck in the mudslide. But prompt action of district administration led by DC Ramban Basirul Haq Chaudhary, 100 people have been rescued from those debris. Not only that, in this Ramban Gool Road, there is a village, Dharmund. In that area, Dharamkund village, 20 houses has got damaged, and nearly 100 people have been moved to the safer places. Another 15 houses have got partial damage, and administration is trying its best to move them to the safer places. Not only in that area, and traffic, Raja Adil Hamid, which is SSP traffic, NH44, he has informed that traffic has been suspended. They are trying hard to restore the traffic, but due to multiple landslides from Nashri to Banial, right now it seems that it will take another 8 to 12 hours to restore it partially, because not only landslide, at 3 places the road portion has also sunk, that has got completely damaged. That means they have to take a diversion and to construct a new road immediately. But it will take another 8 to 12 hours, which was informed by Raja Adil Hamid, and the traffic has been suspended, stopped at Nagrota, at Nashri Tunnel, and at Ramban. No vehicle, not only light vehicle, commercial vehicle, none of the vehicle is being allowed to move on this because it is very risky. And not only those mudslides, the hailstorm also occurred. It continued for 3 hours last night, and at some places in Banial, at least 3 to 4 inches of hailstorm accumulated. And I must tell you, Siddharth, that Ramban is one of the largest producers of almonds and apples after Kashmir Valley. So there is a major damage of those orchards as well. And not only in that area, in Kishtwar district also, the Kishtwar-Padar road, which connects Padar subdivision with the district headquarters Kishtwar, there is a place called Pathar Gali. That is a major portion of land has got damaged also there, and the traffic has been suspended. Not only that, there also 22 household, according to Rajesh Kumar Shawan, the DC Kishtwar, that has been, those have been moved to the safer places and has been kept right now in the tented accommodation, because there is every possibility that those houses may sink, because if this weather continues for another couple of hours, or this incessant rain continues, there will be a major damage in that area as well. Right now, administration is trying its best to continue with the rescue operation, because the incessant rain, there is right now it is sunny, but suddenly it starts raining and hailstorm there. It becomes difficult.
Definitely.
It is coupled with strong winds. So they are trying its best to continue with the rescue operation, but meanwhile, an advisory has been given by 4 districts simultaneously, from Kishtwar, Doda, Ramban, and Riasi. They have, because of the rising water in river Chenab, they have issued an advisory that none of the people should go near Chenab river, which can
situation somewhat is vulnerable there, but rescue operation is on. 3 people have been killed because of the massive landslide, and the rescue operation is still on. We leave it there. Tahir, thank you so much. Moving on, Russia President Vladimir Putin has announced an unexpected and brief unilateral Easter truce in Russia's conflict on Ukraine, while Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy insists that Russian artillery fire are ongoing.
Russia's President Vladimir Putin announced a unilateral Easter ceasefire on Saturday. He ordered his military to halt all battlefield action for 30 hours from 1500 GMT on Saturday until the end of Sunday.
Based on the humanitarian considerations, today starting from 1500 GMT to midnight Monday, the Russian side announces an Easter ceasefire. I order a stop to all military activities for this period. We assume that Ukrainian side will follow our example. However, our troops should be ready to repel possible ceasefire violations and provocations by the enemy. Our decision regarding the Easter ceasefire will show how sincere is the readiness of Kyiv regime, its desire and ability to comply with the agreements and participate in peaceful negotiations directed at eliminating the root cause of the Ukraine crisis.
Более 100 раз, как вы мне докладывали.
The announcement came during a meeting with Russia's chief of the general staff, where Putin outlined the terms of the truce. Putin also issued a warning, stating that Russian troops should remain prepared to respond if Ukraine violates the ceasefire. However, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy accused Russian President Putin for already breaching the Easter Truce. In a post on X, Zelenskyy said that fighting continued in Russia's Kursk and Belgorod regions and Russian drones were still in use, but added that some areas had become quieter. He reiterated his support for longer truce, saying that 30 hours is enough to make headlines, but not for genuine confidence-building measures. Meanwhile, Ukraine and Russia conducted their largest prisoner exchange since the conflict began over 3 years ago. 277 Ukrainian service personnel returned home from Russian captivity on Saturday, taking the total number of returned prisoners of war to 4,552. While Moscow's defense ministry said that 246 servicemen had been handed over by Kyiv, it said a further 31 injured prisoners of war had been handed over to Ukraine and 15 of its own wounded servicemen had also been returned by Kyiv. Putin's unilateral move followed Trump's announcement that it could abandon peace talks within days unless Moscow and Kyiv showed they were serious about negotiating. Bureau Report, DD India.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has reiterated to continue military action in Gaza, stating that Israel has no choice but to keep fighting and vowed to eliminate Hamas. In a late-night televised address, Prime Minister Netanyahu said that he had instructed the military to intensify pressure on Hamas. His remarks come as Hamas rejected an Israeli proposal for another temporary truce and instead demanded a deal to end the conflict in exchange for the release of hostages.
I have ordered the IDF to respond firmly and further increase the pressure on Hamas. We are in the war of rebirth, the war on 7 fronts. This war has very heavy prices, because any such loss is a world in and of itself. But we, as the people who desire life, have no choice but to continue fighting for our very existence until victory.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Netanyahu is facing enormous pressure at home. On Saturday, dozens of protesters clashed with police in Tel Aviv as they were demanding an end to the conflict and the release of the remaining 59 hostages held in Gaza. Families of Israeli hostages also demanded answers from Netanyahu about his plans to negotiate on the return of remaining hostages. Iran and the United States agreed on Saturday to begin drawing up a framework for a potential nuclear deal at their second indirect meeting in a week. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi negotiated for 4 hours in Rome with Trump's Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff through an Omani official who shuttled messages between them. Later, speaking on state TV, Araghchi described the engagement as useful and conducted in a constructive atmosphere. He also hoped Tehran will be in a better position to judge the possibility of reaching an agreement.
As I said, the negotiations were held in a constructive atmosphere, and I can say that they are moving forward, and we are moving forward. There is no reason for too much optimism. We cannot say that we are really optimistic. We must be very cautious, but there is no reason for much pessimism either. We must walk a middle path, reasonable and calm.
The top negotiators would meet again in Oman next Saturday to review the experts' work and assess how closely it aligns with the principles of a potential agreement. And now, let's take a look at other stories making news around the world. A 21-kilometer half marathon featuring 20 robots was held at Beijing's Nanhaizi Park with 8 battery stations installed along the course to ensure continuous energy supply for the robots. After an intense race, the Tiangong robot emerged victorious, completing the marathon in 2 hours, 40 minutes and 42 seconds. A 2100-year-old silk fabric pattern excavated from a tomb is now on display at a museum in Changsha, Hunan province. Measuring 152 centimeter by 106 centimeter, the fabric is remarkably well preserved with only a few small holes, offering a rare glimpse into ancient craftsmanship. The 42nd Weifang International Kite Festival kicked off in Weifang city of Shandong province, showcasing a stunning array of colorful kites from around the world. With 257 teams from 51 countries and regions participating, the festival highlighted the city's rich kite-making tradition, earning Weifang its title as the kite capital of the world. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Prime Minister Modi to embark on a two-day visit to Saudi Arabia from April 22nd. Visit to further strengthen the already robust ties with this strategic partner. Indian shooter Arjun Babuta, leave behind ghost of Paris, clinches silver at the ISSF Shooting World Cup.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will embark on a two-day visit to Saudi Arabia on Tuesday at the invitation of Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Prince Mohammed bin Salman. PM Modi will be welcomed in Jeddah by Crown Prince himself. The two leaders will co-chair the second meeting of the Strategic Partnership Council. Several MOUs between the two sides are also expected to be signed after the bilateral talks.
Bolstering defence and economic ties will be the key focus for Prime Minister Modi when he comes calling on Saudi Arabia on Tuesday. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman will receive Prime Minister Modi here in Jeddah, and the two leaders will co-chair the second meeting of the Indo-Saudi Arabia Strategic Partnership Council.
This will be Prime Minister Modi's first visit to the kingdom during his third term as Prime Minister, though the Prime Minister has previously visited Saudi Arabia twice in 2016 and 2019.
The visit is important also on account of the obvious significance of Saudi Arabia as a strategic partner for India. You're aware of the salience that this relationship has for India's energy security. Saudi Arabia hosts a very large Indian expatriate community, possibly the second largest expatriate community of its kind anywhere in the world. Saudi Arabia is a leading voice in the Islamic world and is increasingly playing an important role in regional developments. And therefore, from all of these perspectives, the visit provides an opportunity to build on the already strong relations with this strategic partner.
The visit would see signing of several memoranda of understanding between the two sides in various sectors, including energy.
We signed the memorandum of understanding in the field of electrical interconnections and green and clean hydrogen and supply chains. The electricity grid interconnection MOU is something on which work is expected to start imminently in terms of a study to lay out the feasibility of this connection. But we see the possible agreements between the two countries on clean hydrogen as another very important trade-linked initiative under this.
Apart from the bilateral aspect of the relationship, the Russia-Ukraine war will be a significant area of discussion between the two leaders. The ongoing tensions in West Asia and concerns over Houthi attacks on commercial shipping are likely to figure in the talks. During his two-day visit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also visit a factory in Jeddah and interact with Indian workers there.
Given that Saudi Arabia is home to a 2.7 million strong Indian diaspora, the talks would focus on how to increase the participation of Indian workers in Saudi Arabia's economy. The Prime Minister shall also be visiting a factory to meet Indian workers here. The talks would also focus on how Saudi Arabia could increase the quota of Hajj pilgrims from India. With my colleague Neeraj Singh and cameraman Saurabh Bakshi, this is Amritpal Singh for DD India in Jeddah.
Speaking about the significance of the upcoming visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Jeddah, Indian Ambassador to Saudi Arabia, Suhail Ajaz Khan, highlighted how bilateral ties have evolved in recent years.
This visit is very important as we are strengthening our strategic partnership. India and Saudi Arabia are age-old friends, and the strategic partnership in recent years has really strengthened, diversified, and has given a new direction to the bilateral relationship. A wide range of talks are expected to take place in various fields of bilateral interest: economic engagement, defense partnership, energy partnership, and many other issues related to the regional and global political scenario.
US Vice President J.D. Vance will be on a 4-day visit to India from Monday, 21st April, marking his first official trip to the country and his first to Asia since President Donald Trump took office. Accompanied by his wife Usha Vance, their children and senior officials, Vance will meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday in New Delhi. He is also scheduled to visit Jaipur and Agra during his stay. The visit aims to strengthen bilateral ties and discuss key regional and global issues. And time now for some sports news. India's ace shooter Arjun Babuta clinched silver medal in the 10-meter air rifle event at International Shooting Sport Federation World Cup in Lima, capital of Peru. Babuta held the lead for most parts of the final but lost the gold medal by 0.1 points to Olympic champion Sheng Lihao of China. The 24-year-old, who missed out on the podium at the Paris Olympics by a whisker, finished the Lima World Cup leg final with 252.3 points. Istvan Penny of Hungary won bronze. India's tally at the end of the day 5 of competition stood at 5 medals to sit on third position. Punjab Kings will clash with Royal Challengers Bengaluru in Indian Premier League at Mullanpur on Sunday. With 5 wins in 7 matches, Punjab Kings are at the 3rd place in points table. Another win would further solidify their playoff push. On the other hand, Royal Challengers have lost their way a bit after a bright start, losing 2 of their last 3 matches. They are in 5th place after 7 matches with 4 wins. Punjab Kings, led by Shreyas Iyer, will be confident of winning the match after the two teams faced each other on Friday, where Punjab Kings came on the go. In the second match of the day, the Mumbai Indians will aim for a 3rd consecutive win when they take on Chennai Super Kings in Mumbai. La Liga leaders Barcelona fought back from 3-1 down to beat Celta Vigo 4-3 in a roller coaster encounter on Saturday, with the score tied at 3-3 after Celta's Iglesias netted a hat-trick. The game seemed to be heading for a draw when Dani Olmo won a penalty deep into stoppage time and Rafinha stepped up to score and seal the match. The win has extended their lead over Real Madrid at the top of the table to 7 points. The result puts pressure back on Real Madrid, who play 4th placed Athletic Bilbao on Sunday. Christians around the world are celebrating Easter today, commemorating the resurrection of Jesus Christ on third day after his crucifixion. One of most significant festivals in the Christian calendar, Easter is a symbol of victory of life over death, hope and forgiveness to people. It is marked by celebrating by attending the Easter Mass, enjoying festive meals with their family, having egg hunts and decorations and spiritual reflection. It is preceded by a 40-day period of fasting, prayers and penance called Lent. That's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Prasar Bharati from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.